accomplish that. I know you're all
As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, as a symbol, I can be incorruptible.
He gave us a signal.
Where are you?
Something elemental, something terrifying.
Well, it's Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for Cavecast. I'm Sammy Three-Peat, and with me is my usual bunch of jokers. Actually, well, one joker in particular. Iron Oxide, how are you, my friend?
Yo, doing pretty good. Just coming off the hills of a severe storm over where we are. Joker knows what's up. It was pretty bad. Knocked out the internet for a little while. So good to be back.
Good to have you back. Drunken Emerald Arrow.
I actually had to use the seat warmers on my way into the studio this morning. I joke about a studio. No, so I ran out for coffee this morning and grabbed a breakfast burrito, and cool enough here up in the Pacific Northwest, I actually had to use my seat warmers this morning.
Nice. Getting about that time of year. And also, Joker Voice, how are you?
If I was any more amazing, I'd be illegal. Sorry for the echo. We certain parts of Arkham get a little acoustics are not the greatest.
I was gonna say you sound like you're in a cell right now.
But you know, tonight's being taco night because why is that, Sammy?
Because it's a madhouse.
It's gotten even more madhouse because you know why? Now they play music while it's taco night, and you know what they make us listen to?
What?
Italian
Seal.
music.
Oh no, not Steel.
Steel.
I love it so much.
That's the greatest thing ever.
Jesus
that is
Christ.
never, ever getting old.
No, that's definitely a fan favorite in the 3P.
Well, I hear that it does drive Mrs. 3P a little up the wall.
It does. She originally, you know. let's go do this real quick because thinking I forgot to post somewhere because my usual suspects are not in chat. So why don't we just do one of these right quick? Quote, and then maybe hit him with, "Hey, we're live, assholes."
That works.
But yes, this is episode 20, and we are discussing the Demon's Head, Ra's al Ghul. A lot of people say Raz, a lot of people say Ra's. Denny O'Neill says Ra's, so I'm saying Ra's.
Regardless, I have a bone to pick with him.
I mean, and what would that be?
A certain Red Hood, formerly known as Jason Todd.
Oh no, not Jason Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Dead puppies. Dead puppies. Dead puppies aren't much fun.
My educational Batman show is slowly becoming Pee-wee's Playhouse. Ah!
He said the word.
But yeah, we can jump right into it, and then
But hey, education should be fun.
it's true. So yeah, Ra's al Ghul is a supervillain appearing in the American comic books, published by DC Comics, commonly known as an adversary of the superhero Batman. He was created by editor Julie Schwartz and writer Denny O'Neil, along with artist Neil Adams. So that is just like the dream team. Oh my God, he's here. Kickbot, cool.
Right.
Yes, still streaming to zero on Kick. Rick Costa, good to see you. Roadkill. Selena, thank you. You guys, oh, and I should probably put my banner on. There we are. Still low though. Was there a school shooting last night, or it was a joke? Never mind.
Okay.
Jesus Christ! I
Dude,
keep
after
hitting
the past couple weeks we've had, it's like, oh fuck, really? I'm not doubting you at all.
Joker.
I had nothing to do with it.
That's not his. That's actually not your style. You're more like, I would have blown up the bus.
Right. And then the big with some Joker with some Joker gas or something. Give everyone a nice smile. Come on.
I keep hitting the control on my chair. Everything was going perfect until that happened. Okay. So yeah, he is as far as I'm concerned, like Batman comic book royalty made him. I was like, you know, editor Julie Schwartz, Dennis O'Neil, Neil Adams. Everything they brought to Batman comics is just usually stellar. And this is as good as it gets. This is pretty much
treated like the modern Bible of what they should and should not do with the characters.
Yes, absolutely. They gave certain characters a glow up. They toned certain characters down from the Silver Age, and I don't know, other characters just seem to just fall in line. But he's notable as the leader of the League of Assassins, which we might. Yeah, I always say we might get to another episode. I think we should just cover the League of Assassins and all that stuff today. There's no point because it's not like I guess maybe we should save it for Talia, but like you can't really talk about who Talia is until you get into Raish. So I don't know. We'll see what we can get through.
I mean, you've covered the little pipsqueak Damien.
That's true. And we did get into a little bit, and there is a list of things that we saw on there that we were gonna save for this episode. Actually, I'm really glad you said that because I have to type that in again. Because there were definite things that I did not know about Ra's al Ghul, and that was 10 things. Was it 10 things you should know? Yeah, that's a good list. There was a couple other things that I wanted to get to, but we shall see. Like I said, time is of the essence here. As always, share the show, hit the like button, or bat subscribe. Bat subscribe would be nice. So yeah, the name Ra's al Ghul translates to head of the ghoul or head of the demon. He's the son of Sensei, which we can click on him real quick. He's a Japanese supervillain. He showed up in 68. So, but he's also created by artist Neil Adams. There he is in all of his gloriness. That's how he looked when I met him. And then, so Sensei is the father of Ra's al Ghul, paternal grandfather of Talia al Ghul, and maternal great grandfather of Damian Wayne. So, he's a Chinese martial arts master. And I'm just going to see, just scrolling through if there's anything really notable. As Roz later appointed Ebenezer Dark as the president of Assassins. No, not really. So he's Ra's al Ghul's dad, but I had heard of him prior. I mean, he actually is a character that's been around since 68. So he actually predates Ra's al Ghul, which any good father should predate their son.
Good. Yes.
You know, I know my dad did, and I'm very glad about that. So
What you wait, you're younger than your dad?
I know, not to brag or anything. Let's see. So yeah, he's the son of Sensei, father of Talia al Ghul, Ali al Ghul, Nisa al Ghul, who's someone that we might get into today. But
Nisa? Yeah, they showed her in. She was in. They featured her in the Arrow series.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Dusain al Ghul, Arcady Duvall, and the maternal grandfather Damian Wayne, who is the biological son of Bruce Wayne, Batman, and Talia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's gotten around, and if you've been around as long as he is, it makes a lot of sense. And if you haven't,
would you say that? So you would say Damian Wayne has good genes?
I wouldn't. I'm fucking racist.
Well, okay, so I just want to mention something. Rick makes a good little comment here, and I'm kind of in the same boat because I first learned about Ra's from Batman the animated series, as I'm sure probably a lot of folks did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really that's one of the first times where I kind of went on a deep dive, is because my local library had an excellent like collectors things, and I was able to like pick up Neil Adams' run, and then I read Son of the Demon, you know, things like that, in which I probably shouldn't have read Son of the Demon at the age that I read Son of a Demon, because that's basically the issue where Talia drugs Batman. And and Ryu, I know, I hope you're doing well. I know you had a funeral recently, and that's always hard, so I appreciate you making it out to come hang out with us anyway. And let's and then I've always had a soft spot for Talia al Ghul.
I wonder why.
It's just something about a long midriff. What am I to do?
Especially the way she was depicted in the animated series.
Yeah.
I'm not. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have Mrs. Three Pete start calling me her beloved.
That's great.
You know, just have her say like weird shit to me that like Talia would say. It's like we're getting ready to have kids. She'd be like, "Enter me, seed bearer. Your legacy awaits." And I'm like, "Yes, I fucking do this." But I don't know who Arcady Duvall is. I'm sure we'll look it up later and I'll be disappointed. And then there's Hafid Al Ghul, Damien's clone.
Is that the heretic?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe it
think
is
so.
the heretic. Which the heretic's got such a dope design. Taliant Wayne, the Brotherhood of the Batman timeline. Okay. And by last siblings, Saif Al Ghul, Taj Al Ghul, Jananan Al Ghul in the Earth Al Ghul timeline. Okay. Stories features Ra's al Ghul often involves the Lazarus Pit. Restore his life from dying. Lazarus pits have considerably prolonged Ra's life, making him particularly dangerous as he's honed his combat skills for centuries. He's primarily an enemy of Batman, but he's coming into conflict with Superman and other heroes in the DC universe. Yeah, there's other things we should probably get into about the Lazarus Pit, but let's continue until we get into like publication history. Because
it should be dried up and destroyed. He gave us the Red Hood.
That's basically. You said it gave us the Riddler? Oh no, gave us the Red Hood. Yeah. Well, kind of.
Depends on which story.
Yeah, no, it's in better stories he gave us the Red Hood, and in other stories which have now been retconned out. Thank God, it's when Superboy Prime had a and punched reality, and you're like, oh, you can just punch reality so hard you can shatter it.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. You gotta ask Superboy Prime.
I'm so glad that they retconned it to the more grounded Lazarus Pit storyline.
Yeah, which even by itself is insane, but it was like way more believable.
It's in the Bible. It makes sense.
It was like no, not that bullshit over here. This bullshit over here is better. That's the bullshit I grew up reading. So yes, created by Julie Schwartz, Dennis O'Neil, and artist Neil Adams. He was first introduced in Batman's 232, Daughter of the Demon. Adams discussed how he designed the character in 2007 Wizard interview. God, I miss Wizard magazine.
Oh man,
so much. For all you newbies, Wizard magazine is pre-internet days where you could look and see how certain issues were trending in price, but they also had what's to come in that upcoming year of comics, or they would have interviews with certain artists. Theories, interviews. They'd have particular artists come and show you how they draw particular characters, and
it was Reddit.
Oh man,
before
it was
Reddit
but
Reddit.
But it was, my local comic shop actually has a whole section of back issues of Wizard, and I'm so wanting to go back and just get so many good ones. And the covers were fantastic. Always done by
that the one on Eastern?
It was Cosmic.
Yeah.
Yep. Over on Flamingo and just off Pecos, I believe.
What am I doing?
Okay.
Haven't you guys talked about that one before?
Yeah, I took everybody there at the meetup.
Oh yeah. I didn't. Oh, that was the group I didn't go with. I didn't go.
Okay, that's another thing too. I'm definitely staying like an extra day or two on the meetup this year or next year. And then also, what am I doing? You know what? I need to write it down that I want to buy a Wizard magazine t-shirt, because I know that they'll have like sponsored ones floating around, but I just spent like $700 on My Chemical Romance tickets. So
wow.
Oh, and you know who's who's touring doing them, right?
Oh, Iggy Pop is going to be for me, which
Baby Metal as well.
Oh, well, we got Iggy Pop, which whatever, but it was to even get like somewhat decent tickets. It was like $350 a ticket, and I have a wife, and we were just talking about, you know, like dyeing our hair, wearing all black, and going like full emo. And I was just like, dude, what if we like killed ourselves at the at the My Chem concert? You know how people would be like, that guy is so hardcore. Unbelievable. Just like his high school days. I just realized that we're streaming. I should probably edit that out.
Right.
But
Probably.
Take two.
well, yeah, I'm not monetized. Whatever.
Right.
Nor will I ever be at this rate. Which is not why I do this. I do this for the love of the game. Yeah, Wizard Magazine was cool. The internet changed everything. Holding a magazine in your hand is definitely different from a laptop or cabinet. That's why I'm big on hard copy, man. I can't do digital. If I started doing like reviews more, I would probably get a subscription to digital so I could just bring it up and, you know, show things. But like, you know,
physical media in every single form is superior to digital.
Well, yeah, and you know, they already talked about that with all the stuff that's going on in California. You own it, right? No one can take it away from you. No one, you know, unless it's like a video game, because now hard copy video games, unless you, you know, even Nintendo though, like you own the game. But you know, with a lot of these, they kind of got like the master key, so you can get into the server. But for the most part, no one can screw with it. No one. That's why I just bought all the Dirty Harry movies, because they said that they were going to be editing certain phrases out of Dirty Harry moving forward, and it was like, what right do you have to do that? That's why I always buy it. It's not hoarding; it's preserving. Okay, it's but yeah, we were talking about Wizard Magazine. My conundrum was, when my mom would take me to the store, I could only get like 3 or 4 comics, but like you would see Wizard Magazine, and I would always want to pick up one of those too, but like I would have to put down my comics that I was reading regularly to pick it up. So I only got, you know, it was only when I started making my own money and you know, or you know, certain runs went stale, then I would pick them up. But it was just like the covers were always so enticing that like I almost was willing to put down comics that I was reading at the time just to pick it up, so it would get excited about other comics that, you know, like I couldn't afford at the time, which is ridiculous, because when you think about how much comics cost now, I wouldn't have had any comics. My mother would have said, that's absurd. Put that back on the rack. But this is what Denny O'Neil this is what Neil Adams, the great Neil Adams, R.I.P., had to say in a Wizard interview. First of all, Denny O'Neil started as a journalist, so his experience with costume characters has always been a forced experience. When the idea came to Julie Schwartz that we're kind of reviving old characters, he said, what do we want to do for a new character? Denny's tendency, as I understood it totally, was not to go with a costume character with superpowers, but to go with like a Moriarty type. When Denny presented it, I was here as a comic book artist who used to doing fairly realistic stuff, having to deal with hey, no costume, how do I make him unique? Because after all, we are pandering to our audience a little bit. How does he become unique? So I sort of went down a list of things that I could do that didn't offend my sensibilities as an artist and as a person who lived in the world. How do you make this person unique? And then I realized there are people that look unique and presented their personality through their physiology, like Jack Palance, for example. Jack Palance is incredible to look at. I mean, he isn't wrong. Like Jack Palance is, you know, like even the way that he walks, talks, presents himself. That's why I do like his version of Dracula, because like if you've ever read Dracula, they don't really say that Dracula has an accent. They just say that he talks weird. They say that his English is great and that, you know, that his cadence was weird. And Jack Palance can't open his mouth without sounding weird. So I was like, it's kind of probably what Dracula sounded like, man.
You know, did we ever get a Jack Palance movie along with what's his name? You know, the other guy who's known for he talks more like this.
Christopher Walken.
Why haven't we had a movie with Jack Palance, Christopher Walken, and John Malkovich?
Oh, that would be great.
You know, it's crazy. Like, wow.
Well, you might need to slow down. Just
I too want to sit next to Jack Palance. Jack Palance is fun to look at.
Jack,
Remember my John Malkovich.
That was
my number one. God. At least we got him in live action Batman. So
yeah, that's true.
At least,
but even then, his cadence is all weird. He's like, "Say this, son of a bitch."
Son of a bitch.
You know, it's just as a child that delivery of that line just confused me, like because it was just jarring, and I realized now it was for intimidation purposes. But I was just like, why did he yell the son of a bitch?
Look, you're gonna cast a traditional, stereotypical mob, Italian mob boss, Jack Palance.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
well, and they did the same thing in Batman Begins, where it was just like you got like this beloved, what's his face,
British man.
Yeah. You want to come to me about Desperate? And then they're like, oh my God, the Batman is so good. It was like, yeah, finally we got a Dago playing a mob boss. It only took us 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into we're getting off track here, and which is fine because we've come up with a lot of wonderful things off track. One
friend
of
the
those
show,
being,
tangents.
Yeah, friend of the show, tangents. That's how we got El Gaucho.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh. For what's right. For love. My balls are a cry for justice. My dick veins are a cry of passion. I am El Gaucho.
Never gets
There's
old.
nothing in the world better than that. Not a fucking thing.
I just remember being so excited, like it just popped in my head one day, and I was like, you know what he needs is like
Or what's right.
like the most interesting man in the world.
Yes.
His balls are a cry for justice.
My dick veins are a cry for passion.
And his passion is equestrianism. He is the sexiest Batman in the world.
You get a call from James Gunn late night. So we need your help with something.
Yeah.
We're doing a live action. We're doing a live action El Gaucho series.
Right.
And
we
want to use your
thought that your
song.
Latin American accent was offensive enough to but yeah, so character overview, because we probably should do the overview. You know what? It's only a paragraph. It's only a paragraph, but the biography is gonna get insane. Oh, look at that right there. Tower of Babel. It's a wordy one, but Ra's al Ghul's an international criminal mastermind whose ultimate goal is world perfection and environmental balance.
Yep.
Yes. He believes that the best way to achieve this balance is to eliminate most of humanity. Kind of
Oh, so
similar.
it's Bill Gates.
Yeah, he's skinny Thanos.
He's Klaus Schwab.
yeah.
In a lot of
he's
ways. And what's funny is those motivations used to be considered evil.
Yeah.
And no such thing as the
yeah, he's a globalist. It's weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's you know what? I think he's the one who stopped Trump's escalator at the UN. That was his master plan, and then he was like, "Turn off the teleprompter." That'll
Boy.
get him. And then Trump was like, "Joke's on you. I'm going to speak for an hour. Got to do better, Iran. Remember when we bombed you, Iran?"
My speeches are great. They're the greatest speeches ever.
So great. Let's just piss him off and take his ability away to go on script and think it's gonna.
Yeah, and then he turned
Well
into Rorschach. Like, by the way, I'm not locked in here with all of you. All of you are locked in.
Exactly. And I'm gonna talk for an extra 40 minutes, motherfuckers.
I do all these things for the United Nations, and what they give me? A broken escalator and a teleprompter that doesn't work.
The teleprompter pissed him off, dude.
Yeah.
He was like, "I don't know who did this, but you're in a lot of trouble." And then Rachel Ghul is like, "Damn it, why is he still talking?" And Charles Schwab is like, "I don't know."
I thought they weren't supposed to be able to talk if you took away the script and teleprompter. What's going on?
Yeah, and George Soros is just like petting a cat in the corner, and he's like, "Things are still going
like Dr. Claw."
Yeah. You win this time, Donald Trump.
Next time. Dude, Donald Trump actually is a lot like Inspector Gadget. He just keeps walking it like,
"What's up,
I'll just make the best of this."
My co-hosty with the mosty on the news, Toasty.
That should just be a show in itself. Just tangent, leads into another tangent, leads into another tangent, leads into another tangent.
Dude, he just, and you could tell he just does not care about, like, he's never wanted to sound politically correct anymore, but like now he's like, and who's doing the best right now? Germany's doing a lot of good things. But the way he called out Venezuela and Iran, and then the best part is the camera would like zoom slowly pan over to the leader of that country, who was like, and we told Iran we'll do anything, but they can not have nuclear weapons. We burned once, and then we bombed them. I don't think anyone else could have bombed them the way that we bombed them.
Yeah, he just sat there and took the shit out of everybody. He even told the UN, like, he pretty much said it in hypothetical, like, what do we even need you for?
Well, he's like, I was trying to help you guys, and you guys don't want to listen. So now
Germany,
I turned off the teleprompter, and you're gonna listen.
Germany, I said you were doing Germany. I said you were doing great things, Germany. But you know who's doing even better? Us. That's why we keep winning. We just keep winning.
Yeah. Another thing too that I loved. He was talking about windmills. And he's like, and you know who builds them? China. And China builds them, but they never use them. It's because they don't work.
Go figure. China building something after a little while after purchase.
Oh yeah, because that's how he got to the windmill thing. Because he was like, and in Germany they were going down a bad path. They were going green. And that's something that I keep telling to Great Britain is you have all these places where you could drill, you don't drill. And you can see where their country's going. It's going in a bad place. Bad place. and then Ra's al Ghul is just like at the end of like Red Hood, like, what have I done? I never should have dealt with that madman. All right. Back. Yeah. Okay, so yes, he is by all accounts a globalist. He wants to eliminate most of humanity and then kind of rebuild society in his vision. He usually tries to Yeah, well, I mean, but still behind the scenes. I don't know if he would be directly the
Well, there
ruler.
were definitely that was one of the biggest problems with like you would see certain characters kind of start to understand his point of view until they realize, oh, wait a minute, but this all ends in a ruling class versus a
Yeah.
servant class.
Well, even when Batman first meets him, that's the thing too, is like this guy's been around forever. He's smart, he's charismatic, he's formidable.
Mhm.
You know, he's a brilliant tactician. And, you know, at the end he's like,
Horses up
"Oh,
the
you're
ass.
making a lot of sense. And then Raish is like, well, all we gotta do is kill half the people on the planet. And Batman's like, that's where you're losing me.
Mhm.
That's where, you know what it is, Raish? That's our disconnect. Respectively, we're enemies now. So he usually tries to assault the world's fucking fruit fly's been down here for like 3 days. Okay.
Fruit flies, the sign of end times. Fruit flies.
They get in. We got a little hole through the screen door, and like they get in, and they always make their way down here. Go upstairs where I'm not streaming. And since I got the lights off, they get they're brought to like, you know how fruit flies work. Enemy of the channel, enemy of my life, fruit flies. And the worst part is I cut down the tree that grows all the fruit because then the birds get to it, and then the side of my house looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. Like, I'm just not doing it. But he usually tries to assault the world's populace with a biological weapon, such as genetically engineered virus. So he did COVID. It's all starting to make sense that Ra's al Ghul is real.
It's making all the sense in the world now. It really is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He's aided by his quest in the Lazarus pits, reservoirs of rejuvenating chemicals that restore the dead and dying to life. Reference to the biblical story of Lazarus, who was resurrected by Jesus. If you don't know, these pits have granted him a lifespan of several centuries. He regards Batman as his worthiest opponent, addressing him as detective. Out of his respect for his intellectual brilliance. That's why I love Tim Drake so much, because that's what he calls Tim Drake. And is frequently sought to make the Dark Knight his successor. And he is one of the few criminals in Batman's role gallery who has deduced his secret identity as Bruce Wayne, but keeps silent on the matter due to the same sense of respect for Batman. Which is always a badass move, where we're just like, no. I'm gonna beat you. I'm not just gonna like rat you out. Raish ain't no rat. For his own part, Batman's opposition to Raish is complicated by both his respect for Ra's al Ghul's genius, if not his goals and methods, and his attraction to his daughter, which she reciprocates, and boy does she reciprocate.
Does she though?
Yeah. Okay. There's a. Yeah, because she wanted it so bad. Okay. But also, no, there is something to be said though, because as the story between them move forward, I mean, there's a fine line between love and hate, and you can only scorn a woman so many times. You can only burn her so many times. And then she gets, and then once kids get involved, shit starts popping off. But let's get to Grandpappy. Let's continue with Grandpappy Al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul's real name, early life, and exact age have been described differently by various artists. His post-crisis story is told in the graphic novel Batman: Birth of the Demon by Dennis O'Neil and Norm Breyfogle. His origin story is later revisited and amended in Batman Annual by Peter Milligan and David Lopez as part of Batman Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul story arc. Most importantly, retelling his origin story, Batman and Robin by James Tynion and Jeremy Juan. References these prior iterations of Ra's al Ghul's Ra's al Ghul's origin while keeping common details that lead towards Raish's adoption of the moniker Raish as a physician, his wife's death, and the annihilation of the Sultan city, which I always kind of enjoy this when certain characters have longevity like this and they keep retconning them. I enjoy when they retcon them where like, hey, everybody was right. Like they do that with Apocalypse quite a bit in the X-Men storylines where it was just like, no, that was okay too, but this guy's just been around so long. The only time where they kind of do it wrong or even more right is Kang the Conqueror, where we're just like, no, he's got so many origin stories, you little. Yeah. Upon discovering the healing properties, I'm sorry. Okay. As told in Birth of the Demon, Ra's al Ghul, known only as the Physician, which is also pretty sweet moniker back in the day, because like normally 600 years before his first appearance in the Batman comics, normally they would just call him like the barber or whatever. It's like, no, this guy's the Physician. Was born over 600 years before his first appearance in the Batman comics, to a desert tribe in eastern North Africa, near a wealthy city governed by a sultan. Developing an interest in the sciences at an early age, Ra's abandoned his tribe to live in the city, where he focused himself on learning and experimentation. He subsequently is trained as a physician and married a woman named Sora. And upon discovering the healing properties of the Lazarus Pit, Ra's managed to save the Sultan's dying son by lowering him into it. He is unaware, though, that the Lazarus Pit can induce insanity. There we go. That's the important part that we need to talk about. The Lazarus Pit is not a cure-all. The Lazarus Pit has very specific. Yeah, it has different properties. It can affect, especially if you're relatively like weak-minded or impulsive. It can just throw you right on over the edge. The reason that Ra's is so impressive is that he's managed to basically. Now he is kind of a megalomaniac who wants to kill half the planet, right. But I mean, after years,
it leaves you to wonder if he would have been like that.
But I'm saying it was like, out of all these years, if that's the worst that came of it, he's still an impressive guy,
right?
Because most guys would be like, well, we should just blow the whole thing up, and it was like, no.
It should have just ended with this right here. Should have ended with this.
Yes. I don't know. I still like Red Hood if he's written correctly.
I do too.
Let's see. But I understand your point of view, because like, you think you did something done. It's the same reason why I got rid of the tree in front of my house. How many times am I going to clean it? I thought I cleaned all the bird shit off the side of my house. You go back, they're eating the berries the next day. Killer J, good to see you. Upon discovering, here you did that. Oh yeah, okay. So I do remember this story. So the Lazarus Pit can produce insanity. The prince, who was already sadistic and cruel, emerges as a mentally unstable sociopath. He proceeds to fatally strangle Sora, who he has already had his eye on for some time. The Sultan is unwilling to admit himself to his son's culpability, accuses Ra's of poisoning his son's mind, and sentences him to a slow, tortured death in a cage with Sora's corpse. Ra's is set free by the son of a dying elderly woman who Ra's earlier treated. The son feels that he owes Ra's a debt for easing his mother's suffering during her last few hours. Ra's and the son head into the desert to seek the tribe of Ra's birth. Ra's convinces the head of his tribe, his uncle, which kind of buried the lead on that one, right? So like he wasn't just like a member of the tribe, like he was all up in it. No, it's about left, dude. Anytime, brother. You're in the group chat now. You'll see who we're discussing. Just keep an eye out for that group chat. Let's see. Yep, imagine this idea for Ra's al Ghul type villains. Villains are the racial or ethnic power. Yeah, so I think he's a little bit more than that. I think he does kind of have like apocalypse's survival of the fittest bit, but also it's not like Thanos either, where he's like, hey, we'll wipe out half the population because it's fair. Like it's coordinated. Like one of the reasons that he targets Gotham a lot is because Gotham's a shithole. You would get rid of a lot of criminal activity if Gotham just wasn't there. And these criminals conspire and they form super villain groups, and like it's just a great place to just have off the map if you're trying to make the world a safer place. So the problem is like it's just morally incorrect to do that. You're not God. You don't get to play those type of games. And apparently he has risen to the point of like where he is this globalist weirdo where he thinks that it's appropriate for him to play these games. So that's why it doesn't work. Let's see, where were we? So he convinces his uncle, who happens to be the head of the tribe of his birth. He aids Raz in his quest to, and by the way, I'm going to be jumping from Raz and Raish back and forth because like it is the way it is. I don't feel too strongly about the other. I prefer to say Raish. That's just because how the guy who created him says his name, but we're just reading here. He's promising the downfall of the oppressive sultan by the oppressive sultan by understanding the germ theory of disease hundreds of years before anyone. Raish is able to infect the prince with a deadly virus, sending him contaminated fabrics. He then ambushes the sultan and then leads soldiers to the tribe, murders the son, and proceeds to massacre the inhabitants of the city before razing it to the ground. Subsequently, Raish declares himself Ra's al Ghul, the demon's head. So it really doesn't tell you much more. It was just kind of his initial rise to power, which is fine. So when someone else tags along on the story, it was like, okay, well, this is what he did next. That's just good character development. Okay, yeah. So in the birth of the demon provides a rough figure of 500 years for Ra's al Ghul's age, due to living so long and being so old. He is assumed to have lost track of how old he is, and that's in Azrael number 6, which is actually a cool thing. He places still written by Denny O'Neil. Wow, guy was just around forever. I mean, I don't think he really retired until like the mid 2000s, but God bless him. I love that little bald man. Places Raish closer to 450 years, as he tells John Paul Valley, but I appear to be a rigorous 50. Actually a very rigorous 448, or is it 453? I've lost count during the Black Plague. No matter. Kind of a badass. Yeah, this is a badass things. So in Batman Annual 25, Ra's al Ghul described as a 700-year-old international terrorist. The 700-year plus mark is used again in Batman and Robin volume 2, number 23.3 in 2013, followed by issue 30 of the same series, where the over 1,000-year time span is described in Raish's pursuit of Themyscira. So that, by the way, That's pretty ambitious. One does not simply just strut into Themyscira with a
That's an
ding dong.
ask.
Oh,
That's an
willy
ask.
nilly.
Yeah. That's not the. No bueno. No bueno. All right. Using the Lazarus pit to extend his life, Race spends the next several centuries journeying the world. He fights in the French Revolution, the Napoleonic Wars. He becomes a formidable warrior. The world has entered the modern age, or as the world's entered the modern age, industrialization, he began to cover much of the earth. Race grew to despise the humans whom he believed were destroying the world's natural beauty, thus setting him on a path of eco-terrorism. Also during this time, Race's uncle and Hui, the son of Raz's the son who freed Raz from the Sultan's final or initial execution, are all using the Lazarus pits to prolong their lives until an incident in London. Race catches Huey writing his own memoirs in his original Chinese language, despite Race having forbid him to reveal the secret of their mortality. During the battle, Race kills Huey and flees to a Lazarus pit he uses, and returns to their home in London. His uncle has vanished, and with the remnants of his historical records. Okay, we're gonna get into that though. There's one thing that I'm just saying. They're saying that he is. There's a lot of like North African, kind of like a Middle Eastern area, but like his dad is also an immortal Chinese villain. So I'm hoping maybe they'll explain the cross pollination there. See, stuff like that is so confusing. That's why we need Ice Bane.
Well, I mean, didn't I guess the cross pollination, I guess, would be in Batman that Begins, because he says his origin is the Middle Eastern, but we find him in China up in the hills.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking comic book stuff here, so
Okay.
like I'm just finding 500 years ago, it would be very rare that you're finding this traveling Arabic tribe,
Nomad.
and yeah, and
Right.
then there's this single Chinese nomad who gets in with the tribe. Like, who knows?
Just
But
happens.
I'm just interested in where that falls in, and I might have to explore what's his face is his papa. What's his papa's name?
The sensei.
Yeah, the sensei. I mean, you don't just get a name like the sensei. So yeah, so he returns home. His uncle has vanished with the remnants of their historical records. Over time, he became a master of many forms of combat, noticeably fencing. He also builds vast wealth and creates the Demon, a huge international organization, according to Justice League of America, Series 1, issue 94. It has been whispered in the darkest places for 500 years that a cartel of criminals has slowly sucked its way into the rich veins of the earth. Many names spit from the mouth of the men, but often most cursedly as the Demon. It has a leader ahead. The League of Assassins is one of the many smaller organizations making up the Demon. See, that's where I always found like a misdirect to. It was like, because I knew it was the head of the Demon. I didn't realize that I thought that's just what some people call it, and that's just what they're. So the Demon is a much larger organization. The League of Assassins is like the Fang.
So the Demon is the umbrella company.
Yeah, and this is the League of Assassins, or the Demon Fang, is like the paramilitary arm of the demon, or
Gotcha.
like they say, the fang of the demon. So okay, that actually clarifies that up for me, because I always just thought they just called it different things, and it depends on who's writing it. Okay, here we go. In his earlier appearances, Ra's al Ghul's ethnic origins were subject to change depending on the depiction and the writer. He is said to have partial East Asian ancestry in accordance to Birth of the Demon. Talia al Ghul addresses Ra's having a Byzantine life, suggesting Byzantine ancestry. The significance of Ra's al Ghul's Eurasian profile is attributed to his known paternal heritage, whilst his ambitions for a world conquest is compared and traced to the likes of Alexander the Great, and influence too shared by the family whose members such as Sensei, but Sensei's his dad. So, yeah. So, yeah, but so then they said that the name Damien, Greek, it's a derivative of Damianos, the Greek word for tame. Most commonly depicted in the source material, a phenotype of fair complexion. Ra's al Ghul has also been opportunistically involved in the Western world global exploits in the age of exploration. There's just a bunch of references here. I'm just trying to see. Ra's al Ghul's use of adoptive Arabic monikers and the language itself as the result of Ra's al Ghul's settlement and cultured history with both in irradiation and regional pursuits of the Lazarus Pit, the longevity source. Okay, so it's just like he embraces different parts of different cultures due to his many travels and his longevity. So I mean, that makes sense. Another character who's very similar in that aspect would be someone like Vandal Savage, where Vandal Savage has been around forever. So, and I'm sure that there's probably been a couple of, and if they're not, we need to sit down and write them, where there's a couple of times where Ra's and Vandal had run into each other in different parts of history, because that would
not surprise me.
Interesting. No, not at all. So he's opportunistic in let's see, the Age of Exploration, and in the Third Reich, of course, they had to make him a Nazi at one point in time, right? Ra's al Ghul's adoptive use of, there we go. So we already did that. Yeah.
Next, I'm gonna make him Klaus. Next, in the next iteration, he'll be Klaus Schwab.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is just what I assume Klaus Schwab's biography looks like.
Right. It's frightening. It's frightening how parallel it is.
Then I found the Lazarus Pit, and I decided to start dressing like a
Sith
wizard.
Lord.
Yeah, like a Sith Lord. He does. That's when I hired the Viceroy to run.
I don't know why you made me laugh.
because it feels like, he feels, we should put vaccinations in the food. The Arabic monikers in particular, is used as scare tactics for both his influence in his reign of terror in the greater Middle East, his first eradication of the Sultanate described in the burst, his actions insinuated and have been repeated over and over. Okay, so he does this lining with we I think we got it. Yeah. This is let's see. Okay, here we go. I spoke too soon. In the 21st century, race has explicitly been established as being Chinese, though that is no longer canon. And an Arab ancestry in the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. His father was revealed to be DC Comics character the Sensei, a warrior and combat instructor who was a member of the League of Assassins. The sensei is a Chinese man originally from Hong Kong region. However, Rei's relation to the sensei is no longer canon due to the reveal that his father was being part of a pre-Flashpoint post-crisis continuity that ended in 2011, and in 2021 DC reintroduced Raz's mother, Ra Al Ghul, an Arab woman. Raz and the rest of the Al Ghul Arabic heritage connection to Arabic culture has been a greater emphasis since 2010. So nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
What's up, Sergeant?
Well, yeah, what's up, Sarge? Always good to see you, buddy. But Contagion and Legacy, Rei's returns to prominence and comes dangerously close to realizing his dream of worldwide genocide in the Contagion story arc of Batman titles. His organization unleashes his deadly virus as Ebola Gulf, aka Clench, on Gotham City. Wouldn't you know it? He always wants to go for Gotham first. I think. Well, no, I think that would be if Batman was there or not. I think he's seen Gotham and he was like, "Hey, I'm starting with this shithole." Yeah,
it's so corrupt. It's just because what was it? Even again, I'm a movie guy myself, but but he talks about like Rome, how the League of Assassins sacked Rome, how they flooded London with rats, now with plague. Just Gotham would be this decadent place that would this is a good place to start.
Yeah, it also is like a hub of industry and things like that. So if you start with a place like that, it's going to bleed into everything, right? Especially if you use a virus, okay? It was like Wayne Tech is all over the world. Like if you're managing to get them where they're actually exporting this, I was like, you're going to be able to get that all around the world relatively quickly. Just from a logistical standpoint.
Could you started at like Metropolis, a coast city or something?
No, there's a big blue flying reason why no one starts doing shit in Metropolis.
Yeah, I know. The big blue boring.
Learning the Demon Head lives, Batman and his team circle the globe, presenting further outbreaks of the virus. Ray allies himself with Bane, the man who once nearly crippled the Batman, and recently he deported him.
You are getting deported.
Because he's Ice Bane. And he did, he did that. He did that, and then as we know, he dropped like a flame track the other day. I don't know if you guys heard it, but here.
Ice Bane. Ice Bane.
Born in a prison, you get dubbed insane. Born in a prison, you can feel like a drain. I'm Ice Bane. Dubbed insane. Protect your neck, no disrespect. I'll deport your ass and I'll collect a check. I'm analyzing everything that you do. Yeah, I broke the Batman, then I'll report his ass too. Coming straight out of the clan of Wu. I kill so many men, but I respect a few. I ain't robbing no Robin on no street corner or no alleyway. Respect a few. I'm a spectacle with a license to perform violence with an intent to use. I'm a problem in Harlem, just like I'm a problem in Gotham too. I got testicles. Killer Croc wanna break my arm? I bet you do. You think you know about darkness? I was born in it. You think I'm dropping the charges? Go on, get gone. Tell Gordon and the warden to get some. Get some. Protect your neck, Holmes. I'll roll up to your spot clad in denim. You know I'm spitting straight venom. I'm Ice Bane. Ice Bane.
Ice Bane.
I'm Ice Bane, about to
Bane.
get dubbed insane.
Insane.
Wu-Tang. Straight up Gotham, what? You feel me?
Gotham
Park
City, can
Row,
you feel me?
motherfuckers feel me?
Park Row, can you feel me, motherfucker?
Santa Prisca, motherfucker, till I die. Ice Bane.
And as we know, the rest is history.
Fucking yeah.
You know, Seal, not so bad now.
Now we have to get into probably the most. Oh yeah, girl. I'll try it. Oh, you didn't get me one?
Bye, Miss Sammy.
It's
Bye,
delicious.
Mrs. To repeat.
Oh.
Yeah, it is nice being a basic bitch every now and then. That was delicious. What the hell was that? Either way, you know, he joined Wu-Tang. The final chamber dropped, and you know the rest is history. But I think this is probably one of his most important stories is Tower of Babel, and it was adapted into Justice League Doom, which they had Vandal
It's a fun
Savage
anime.
playing a much bigger part. It's probably one of my favorite animated movies, but the book is so much better. So Ra's discovers Batman's contingency plans for stopping other members of the Justice League should they turn evil, and he uses them to destroy the group. Meanwhile, Ra's steals the bodies of Batman's parents. This theft prevents Batman from realizing Ra's is using his traps until it's too late because he's distracted by the corpses of his parents. Though defeated, Ra's does cause a temporary exit for Batman from the JLA. Yeah, because they do not take kindly to it like they do at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, they're like, Batman, what the hell? Like, you know, do you have a contingency plan if you go evil? He's like, yeah, it's called the Justice League. No, everyone's like, dude, you gotta fucking go. Okay,
Yeah.
you're a menace. And he was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. You guys are all dangerous anyway. If anything, my plans just like prove that. And he was never gonna admit he was wrong. Yeah, they now distrust the Caped Crusader, although some of the League members resent Batman's plans. They eventually accept that the plans were created for the right reasons, and Batman confirms that he trusts them by revealing his secret identity to them. So, yeah. Which by that point in the comics, like everybody in the Justice League should have known that it was Bruce Wayne, right? Like you're going on 30, 40 years of even post crisis. That's a good 15 years. Yeah, no, that is a great line. Alfred, the Justice League's under attack. By who? By me. No, that one's very, very well done. Talia disillusioned with her father, and that's another thing too. Is so when Ra's has Batman like cornered in his lair and he's confronting him, and he now realizes he's got the Wayne's coffins over a Lazarus pit. And he's like, hey, man, like, I can bring him back. Like, you know, much, much different than how they handled in the film. It was like, I'd say much more of a manipulation tactic. It was like, hey, you know, the reason that you're Batman, like, you could be retired, dude. Like, stranger things have happened in the news. We can just bring them back. No problems. But either way,
they were in the witness protection program.
Yeah, exactly.
They were on holiday in Antarctica.
They just didn't like you as a child.
Bruce just comes out and was like, yeah, I knew the whole time, but I had to just like play it for their protection. Like, there's plenty of ways. Everyone would have bought it. Talia al Ghul, disillusioned with her father, leaves the League to run LexCorp for former president Lex Luthor before selling the company to Bruce Wayne for his Wayne Foundation to aid Batman and Superman's victory over Luthor. Ra's blames Batman for his failed relationship with Talia and stages a plot where he tries to separate Batman from his heir, Dick Grayson, shortly before Wayne adopts the ward as his son. And then plan fails. Wayne and Grayson proceed with the adoption. Ra's also is featured in Birds of Prey 31-35, where his romantic fling with Black Canary. That's
Wow.
Hey, Bruce gets around, you know.
No, but this is Ra's.
Oh, that's Ra's. Oh, fuck.
He's got some
I don't know
taste.
if I remember that.
All right.
I mean, Dinah is hot. I mean, Oliver may have something to say about it.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Oliver took it.
I'm sure he blew up one of his own buildings.
Well, and this may explain Rach in the Arrow show why they have such a bad relationship. They don't. There you go.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that I've always wondered, because like he does consider Bruce, you know, he really wants Bruce to be his heir, but like a good second choice would be Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen also comes from a place of prominence, but he's also been shown to like he will blow up his own buildings and things like that, because like he's kind of, for lack of a better words, like an Antifa.
Yeah, he's very like, he's a lot more left leaning.
Yeah, he's crazy left leaning.
Back when they knew how to write that good, it created conflict between not just him and Bruce, who Bruce being a little more negative centrist. Definitely his best friend, Green Lantern.
Yeah. And you know, things like that, you know, or even you would assume that after Bruce has like knocked him down a couple times, like Ra's would go up to like someone like Ted Cord or Oliver Queen, or just, I just think they don't have the mental fortitude that Batman has, right? Where, you know, like a Green Lantern ring or a Yellow Lantern ring lands on Bruce Wayne and he's like, get out of here. And the thing like flies off. Like, I was like, takes a special type of man.
Yeah. Bruce is really the only one that I think Ra's whatever you want to call him, would consider his equal.
Nah, brah, it's Ra's al Ghul.
Rash.
There's no wrong. Yeah, no, it's true, and it really is. And those guys are all brilliant in their own right. I think Ollie's more kind of like a Dick Grayson style, where it's his physicality that brings it on in his kind of his mentality. He's a little bit more optimistic than, you know, Batman's much more of a realist. Ollie's definitely more idealistic, which is another reason that like Ra's might be able to bend him to his will, as goes like, hey, you know, we kind of want the same thing, but have I talked to you about my plan about wiping out half of the population? Because like it's a good one. It'll be good for the trees.
Right, but again, because he wouldn't consider, they're not worthy of him. Like, it's still good pick. He would consider them a good pick, but at the same time, not. He doesn't. Yeah, his arrogance. He doesn't see them at the same level where he sees Bruce.
Absolutely, and he would give them high-ranking roles in the Demon's Fang. But
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
especially Dinah.
Yeah, slept her way to the top, did she?
Yep.
You know, hey.
So Death and Maidens. Rachel's other daughter, Nysa Ratiko. I think I said that right. Normally I thought she was just Al Ghul, but furious with her father for abandoning her in a Nazi concentration camp. Yeah, that'll leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Might do it.
That's a little bit worse than missing a couple soccer games, I would say. You know,
you're grounded. Oh,
yeah,
crap.
Yeah. Well, you left me in Auschwitz, so I'm not grounded.
Forgive me if I'm a little sour.
So she rightfully sore, a little testy about that, begins plotting to destroy him, prompting Raish to contact Batman to make a deal for access to a Lazarus pit to give him strength for the final confrontation with Nysa. And in exchange for the location of the pit, Raish provides Batman with a serum that would allow him to walk in the spirit world and speak to his parents. While Batman experiences his vision, Nysa befriends Talia and then kidnaps and brainwashes her, like any good sister would.
Of course.
She plots to destroy all hope and optimism in the world by assassinating Superman with kryptonite bullets she steals from the Batcave. When Batman stops Nysa from killing Superman, he is unable to stop her from mortally injuring her father. The dying Raish reveals that this is all part of his greater plan to ensure that his daughters will realize that he is correct in his perceptions about the world and what needs to be done to it. I'm calling bullshit, but
that's what I'm saying on that one too.
That's just something you say when you're mortally wounded. It's all good.
I had it planned the whole time.
Yeah, this is what I wanted. Ow.
Now, okay.
I was like, really? Ruptured spleen. That's how you wanted to go, huh?
Pardon my ignorance here, but I mean, doesn't Raish have combatants who are kind of equal to Bruce? I mean, doesn't he have Shiva at his disposal?
Yeah, but I'm saying, and how it broke down in this, it was just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking. They just
they do stuff with Shiva. If I'm not mistaken, they do shit with Deathstroke all the time.
Cheshire as well.
Oh yeah, Cheshire for sure. Grounded in Auschwitz. That's like a Magneto story. Grounded. Yeah. That was the name of his memoirs. Grounded in Auschwitz. No, why I hate humanity.
Why I hate my dad. Daddy issues. My days in Auschwitz.
But I don't know if you guys know this, but I cover this in other news all the time, but that is actually fake.
Look, Eric, when I met you, you were a very angry and violent man, so it was my understanding that maybe giving you some traumatic experiences would give you some empathy, mellow you out a little bit.
You turned me into a Holocaust survivor to mellow me out?
I might have crossed some boundaries.
No, you're lying. You're trying to distract me.
I was shocked you never figured it out. I mean, I just copied and pasted a documentary I'd watched from the History Channel into your brain.
No.
Pretty sloppy, too. I'm pretty sure I forgot to cut out the commercials. You were never curious why sometimes the Geico Gecko would be at the gate?
He was selling insurance.
Why would he sell insurance at Auschwitz? That'd be like the worst return on investment ever.
Friend of the channel, baby, yeah.
So, as we all know, it's a gift. But so he dies. He's like, hey, it's all part of my greater plan. And you guys got to accept your destinies as my heirs. And Raj's plan, both Nysa and Talia become heads of the Demon and the League of Assassins. And then Talia disavows her love for Bruce Wayne, and both sisters declare Batman their enemy. It's too late for Raz, and Nysa stabs her father through the heart, seemingly killing him for good. And to ensure that he won't return, but and then Batman oversees his cremation. But as we know,
no one really dies.
Yeah. So and this is actually I remember reading this one, although it's I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this all starts going down during like Grant Morrison, Paul Dini. It's It's a decent story, but it was like it's definitely starting to get into the era. Let's say the 2007, 2008. There were still like good stories coming by then, but like the New 52 was rapidly on its way, and as we've all covered, the New 52 is just
Garbage.
a polyp on the continuity of Detective Comics. But in Batman Annual 26, Talia is prompted to read the history of Ra's al Ghul to her son Damian, which is weird, right? Because in a couple other stories, he noted that he wanted all of his history destroyed, but it still stacks up because someone did get away with some of
Just
his
like the internet, ancient scrolls are forever.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So to her son by a mysterious figure from Ra's al Ghul's past, the White Ghost. Unbeknown to her, the White Ghost plans to use Damian as a vessel for Ra's return. However, the mother and son escape before the plan is completed. After her escape, Batman confronts the White Ghost. He fights, but accidentally falls into the Lazarus pit. All right. As Batman 670, Ra's has returned, having evaded death by transferring his consciousness into the body of another, which is not the first time we've seen this, and is done horrifically in the animated series. And we can get into that as soon as we finish the history here, because I want to wrap up. I want to get at least past death of Bruce Wayne, because there's some interesting things in there.
So what you're saying is somehow Ra's has returned.
Yes, pretty much. So he evaded death by transferring his consciousness into another, but because the host body is decaying from radiation poisoning, he needs to transfer his mind into another host body. His first choice is that of his grandson. Why? You don't know. Just
Why not?
Same bloodline. I mean,
yeah, but it was like
bloodline of his greatest opponent. So
but you wanted to raise an heir. You wanted someone to succeed you. It was like that's just kind of like jumping the gun. But I guess he knew he was going to run out of steam eventually. If you're in a younger body like that, he's able to start this whole process entirely over again, right? So,
nothing's worse than when he did the exact same thing in Batman Begins, but with Talia. So he goes back as Talia, seduces Bruce. Old Bruce.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, it wasn't Batman Begins. It was the animated series. I said,
Batman Beyond, or Batman Beyond. I'm sorry,
Batman Beyond. Thank you. Horrific is. I was waiting. So
much ew.
So much ew.
Just there's that scene too, because she always calls him his beloved, right? And then when she brushes her hair back and goes, detective, and you're just like, oh no.
What did they do?
And somehow
biggest cock in American history and animation history, maybe.
Oh dear God! You want to know what? Didn't even realize the sexual tension that Ross had for Batman.
Yes.
It's like he's living his fantasy. He's finally getting to sleep with Bruce.
Yes. And when David Warner's voice starts coming out of that, oh my God! Like
somehow now, Wonder Woman 1984 isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Compared to this.
And in some continuities, Damian's his own grandpa. So or something just as hideous. But either way, they escaped that weird incestuous-y plan for many more to come. And you got to keep in mind, the guy's 600 to 1,000 years old. It wasn't that weird back then. It's weird now. It's deplorable now, but back then,
I've lived long enough to have a very open mind, detective.
Yeah. I've done exploration. It was like, no,
Both the
and then
worlds and the flesh.
I've seen things.
this is just like what he's like. This is just another reason we can't be friends. It is. It really is creepy. I knew we were gonna have to get to it eventually. Honestly, I thought we were gonna get to it when we talked about Talia, but
I didn't. I figured.
You know,
I figured.
that is a great question, and we said if they haven't, we need to start writing some fanfic where they do, because that's definitely they have to have had. Well, you know what?
How else did she convince his old ass to get in the Lazarus pit? Like, you want this or don't you? Like, yep. I'm 89.
I thought you would at least be interested in it, since Oliver wasn't.
Yeah.
What makes you question even more is, did Bruce know the whole time and just like well, fuck it, you know?
Well, it's funny because I do have that John Bryan where he did like his it's called I think it's called like Pasts and Futures or and in that iteration, in their final showdown, because they realize that the Lazarus pit is incomplete, like you're always gonna need to find another one. It's always gonna run out on you. So they actually draw swords and they have a fight to the death in the Lazarus pit, and you don't know who comes out because they kind of merge as one body. That's why he's able to have longevity like Superman, because in certain iterations of Superman, the older he gets, the slower he ages. So he ends up.
Bug brings up a point.
Yeah, Bug's got something.
Yeah, so we're talking about the comic continuity, right? So I'm just wondering specifically in the comics if they have like run across. If one of you guys want to Google that, that'd be great. But yes, and it makes me so sad too, because Young Justice is such a good show. And we definitely should have. Yeah, they just like anything good, they find a way to screw it up. But yeah, I thought that was super interesting in that, and just a concept that really didn't get explored. And then once they did, with like the Joker and like the white man, or what is the man in white, or whatever it was, what ended up leading into the Dark Knight's Metal, where like the Lazarus pit, it's just a concentration of these chemicals that like actually give you this longevity and things like that, and it opens up a portal for what's his name, the Batman who laughs, and who's the big bad in that, Barbados,
Lovely Island,
which is an entirely different thing. I just liked what John Bryan did, where it was just like, it's a mystical pool. These you guys are basically equals. 2 go in, only 1 come out, and the winner gets immortality. That's sweet. Like, you didn't have to over explain it. That's the problem with a lot of these newer comics, is like the fantasy adventure has been taken out, where it was like everything has to be explained so scientifically that it gets to a point where stuff. And they did it in the Silver Age a lot, but like the Silver Age understanding of science was still where the fantastical and the science could meet, because we didn't have like such a great understanding of it. We're just like, well, this spider got irradiated, and now this guy can climb walls. And you're like, okay.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. No, I agree 100%. They've ruined comic books by trying to explain everything and give everything an origin. It has ruined great characters. Wolverine was ruined by the whole James Howlett bullshit. Giving him an origin ruined the character.
Well, here's the thing too. There's a difference between deconstructing aspects of the character, like they did with Bruce Banner in the 90s, going like, well, he turns into different Hulks because he has a damaged psyche. That's something to explore. Okay. Even what they were doing with Rafe, going like, oh, these are different these are different depictions of the same story. They're just in different time parts of his life. They did that with Wolverine for years. Also, Bug, you have the link, bro, so you can hop in anytime you like. They did that for years. There's a difference between that and over explaining. That's why whenever they make like an origin movie, like it's never as good. Like Hannibal Rising is never going to be as scary as Hannibal in Silence of the Lambs because like your imagination on where he can go, and it also limits the character too.
Yeah.
Where you would have all these times where like, oh, I remember meeting Wolverine back in World War II, and you're like, oh shit, Wolverine was in World War II. It was, you know, it was like that. It builds more of the mystique about the character.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Not knowing the exact origin was part of the fucking the romance to it. That was what gave the characters so much depth because you're along with it. Like not knowing is a great thing, and they lost track of that a long time ago.
Yeah.
It ruined a lot of really great things that you're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to know the Joker's origin. You're not supposed to know Wolverine's origin. You're not supposed to, even Roz, while they did that really pretty well, I think leaving the mystery would have been a lot better.
Well, but I'm saying leaving the mystery is one thing, but you can have these characters, especially ones that have these longevity, show up in different parts of the timeline where it was like it's interesting to see Rachel Ghul like walking around in like Elizabethan London, or Mesopotamia, and then he runs into Vandal Savage, and which, by the way, I was like, okay, has
friend of the channel, friend of the channel, Google
into Vandal Savage in the past.
But like even with the Lazarus pit, not knowing the exact origin and just saying it's just this thing that exists that cannot be explained. That's enough.
Okay.
That's
okay. In the comics, there is no definitive or widely recognized encounter between Ra's al Ghul and Vandal Savage in the primary continuity.
It happen.
And like I said, you know, who would be another guy who would be great to thwart that would be Immortal Man. And you know, it was just like it
Diana.
would be like any one of those characters, or Abin Sur, or whoever the corresponding Green Lantern was. You can do things like that, and then maybe that's like Ra's knows something about fighting a certain hero in the modern day that he does now is because he encountered something like this back in the past. That
Which
only
means,
Icon.
Which means
Icon would be great.
Which means that Rach would have some knowledge of who the Guardians are, or all this other, or if he knew the what was it, the Fae who basically is the race of Anna's mom. That race of people.
Yeah, I mean, you have that. You know, it's like you also have the Greek pantheon that comes along with it. And it was like, I mean, there's plenty of different.
You got the green. You got the green.
Yeah, you have the green. Well, and even more of the aspects of if you want to go like more golden age stuff, you could do stuff with Alan Scott and the Starheart, stuff like that. There's plenty of things that you can do. It's just like once you set up a definitive thing. So what they did with Apocalypse, I guess, was all right because like they set it so far back in history that you still have plenty of time to experiment and do it. And we all knew he came from Egypt. Like there was no question there. So like the stuff about the warring tribes. Yeah. So and then Sabanur, like fleshing that out a little bit more, that's no problem because they don't do what they did to Wolverine where they go, this is all the way up to the point where he loses his memory.
Yeah.
And it was like, so now you have set that in stone, and a lot of the stuff was really, really dumb.
Very dumb.
Like what was the guy's name? Romulus and all that stuff. That
God.
That was a mess. And even then they retconned that out of there. So the initial story of when Wolverine, I now we're on Mutant Cast, but where Wolverine They say his name's James Howlett, and he's in Alberta in the mid 1800s, and his father's killed in front of him, and that causes his bone claws to come out, and his mother sends him on his way. Fine, leave it at that, because we don't need to know anything else. It was always my headcanon until they explained it, because in his initial appearance, he was there to fight the Incredible Hulk, right? No, I don't think there was a Remus. I think there was just Romulus. I mean, I know in the actual mythology there's Romulus and Remus, but I think they just use the name Romulus because it is associated with wolves, and they wanted to make Wolverine like a lycanthropic character instead of just an early mutant, and this is why the whole thing goes off the rails and it's stupid. But what I was saying is, it was like, so the best way to have Wolverine lose his memory is, who does he encounter in the first time that he's in the comics ever? He was an Incredible Hulk villain. You know what? It doesn't matter how adamantium that skeleton is, you still feel impact. Getting a full-on punch in the head from the Incredible Hulk is a great way to erase anybody's memory. Why not do that? You know, like, you know.
And I mean, the draw to the character was he was that man out of time without a past.
Yeah.
And the only thing you got from his backstory was when other characters that have that longevity would, I remember beating this motherfucker, like you said, in World War II, in this time period, that time period. You never know what his allegiance is.
First time he meets, we see Omega Red in the comics, he says something akin to, "That's Omega Red." And like everyone's like, "Oh, you know him?" And he's like, "Not really, but he's like I know he's bad news." And like, so you explore that history a little bit more. And you know, it was like, or you have characters that walk up to Logan and be like, "Hey, it's been a long time." And he's like, "I have no idea who you are." Or he knows exactly who you are, and he hates you. It was like
and doesn't, in some cases, doesn't even know why.
Yeah.
And that was great.
You know,
that's what made the character popular, and to take all of that away. And I know like you said, now we're turning into Mutant Cast, but shit.
No, but it's important. So another thing too, like, look how Sabretooth first started out. And then once you started fleshing out Wolverine's origin story,
Iron Fist and Nick Fury villain.
Yeah. But insane. But I'm talking about by the time he got to like Claremont's X-Men, where, you know, he started using these characters, he is a full-fledged just psychopath. And like now he still kind of is, but he's in no way brutal that he was in the Claremont, because like we have so much more history and stuff about him where, oh, well, sometimes he becomes a good guy. No, there's nothing redeeming about Claremont's Sabretooth. You know, it's things like that. So like when you flesh out these characters, back to the topic at hand. Yes, back to the topic at hand. It works for Raish because he's been around so long. His allegiance is only to himself and his motives. So like as long as he thinks it's working out for him, you know, that's
greater good.
Yeah, well, his idea of the greater good. So let's see. So he gets resurrected. Let's see. After defeating Raish, the Sensei fights and impales Batman with a cane. Determined to win, Batman drags the Sensei into the fountain. I'm assuming they're talking about the Lazarus Pit. I don't see any mention of a fountain. They started to do this with a Killer Croc at one point, where they were mentioning things, and it sounds like they forgot to mention a couple of details on this, which is fine because it's an overview. I mean, I implore all of you, we are just glossing over this to give you guys an idea of the story. There's plenty of comics that we didn't touch on and that you should read with him in it. This was never supposed to, this isn't like a Comics Explained deal where, well, this is like early comics explained. We are giving you the idea of the character and certain notable things, but we're not just going to sit and read the whole fucking comic to you. That's not, that's never been my intention. And also Dempsey's here, and Dempsey's awesome. But let's see. Following the resurrection, we can just skip all the stuff. Wait, hold on. We do need to talk. It is revealed that the White Ghost is Race's albino son, Dusan, who offers up his own body. He transfers his soul, but the White Ghost apparently dies soon afterwards. Raz resumes in the battle to kill. So, like that, you know, he comes back. Following the resurrection, Ra's al Ghul, in his new body, moves his base of operations to Gotham City, where it's revealed to be a remnant of his son Dusan's consciousness still remains within him, which, because comics, right?
Right.
You know, Rogue and Carol Danvers, which should have just stayed that way, knowing what we know now. He's able to use the resemblance between them to modify his body and appearance to look more like his own. But though he remains albino, which also made his lineage even harder to depict. The return of Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I think we got it. Let's, because we still have to look into his skills and abilities, and then of course I mean, we can do the brief overview of this, but other iterations of the character, and there are plenty of great iterations of this character. So yeah, due to his expanded life, Ra's has accumulated vast knowledge and abilities, which has exceeded those of Batman's. These include detective skills, chemistry, physics, military tactics, economics, martial arts, fully using his photographic memory to master all such skills. He has also gained many international contacts and immense fortune over the course of centuries. I mean, just with interest alone, he's doing great.
He invested well.
Yes, he did. And then when in combat, he favors more ancient weaponry. He's usually depicted having a sword, but these weapons include what is it? Smikmar. What is it? Scimitars. Scimitars, katanas, spears, bolas, shurikens, and miniaturized explosives. And they're like, and Batman, you know, when he squared off with Batman, he's like, "You can't hit me with that ninja star," and he's like, "Shuriken." Along with his physical abilities and resources, Ra's al Ghul has been shown to possess a certain degree of proficiency with mysticism, in effect, to guarantee his own continued existence. He has on several occasions demonstrated the ability to transfer his soul into other bodies, giving him a way to live through an event where his physical body is destroyed and unable to be transported to the Lazarus pit. The exact details of this process remain inconsistent because it doesn't matter.
Not.
Or what is that? I'm pretty sure I figured out who Killer Croc is violating.
Oh God, here we go.
No, I broke his arm and then he ran away to the sewers, but he cried vengeance. He declared vengeance on me. That's what he does. I was actually really disappointed to like finally realize like that is all that Killer Croc does. It was like, although pretty interesting stuff in what's going on in Batman right now. Like because they just kind of revamped him. I can't remember the new artist.
Are we talking Absolute?
No, because Absolute was garbage. They've they've just started everything over with like a new writer. So like Vandal Savage is now like the mayor of Gotham, which was something that was gonna be, and Killer Croc is kind of like in this like childlike state where like he's just like a big it's kind of like a Hulk character, but like he actually is a lot more childlike. It had something to do with the regression virus where that turned him into a super monster, but now his mind, so he's very childlike. So he'll break into the museum, but like it's like to look around, and he'll be holding like a big like plush toy that looks like a dinosaur, like me, it's me, you know. And then Batman's just like,
this explains a lot.
Yeah. Well, there was, so the last episode, last issue that I read, like, Batman is sitting next to Killer Croc, and they're waiting for guys from Arkham to like come pick him up, and he was like, "We fought." And he's like, "Yeah, we did, buddy." Like, you know, like, you know, like, this guy it's actually kind of endearing.
You did good.
All right, so a question from Dempsey. If he transfers his soul into another body, wouldn't he lose his photographic memory because it's based on your brain, not your consciousness? I would like to assume so, but maybe that's the certain reasons that he prefers to transfer his body into his prodigy. Is maybe that's something that they you know, have, but also like we're just
like
gonna
you're not
go
going to buy
with
clothes
Ghul.
that doesn't fit.
Or we could also assume that it's a skill that he's just honed so well that he just takes it all with him when he goes, you know. But yeah, no, that is a great point. But like, yeah, we just gotta chalk it up to the same reason no one recognizes Clark Kent when he puts the fucking glasses on, right? Yeah, or magic. We forgot about magic. Glowing twink with cartoon eyes immediately brought up to mind Teen Titans Jinx. They have to gender swap her, by the way. Yeah, they would. No. So yeah, so he's able to do that. So let's other versions. Let's see if they have the one that I was. There's Son of the Demon. Yes, this is the one I was talking about. Batman Superman Generations. Guys, if you haven't read this, this is fantastic. I just got it the other day. I had a segment of it because it came out in like collected or it came out in trades a little bit like when I was a kid, and I remember yeah, so I got this in probably 99. I got like volume 2 of it, but he's since then added so much more. And I'd say that the omnibus is great, but it follows kind of does like a Watchmen thing or a New Frontier thing where it starts in the Golden Age and then it works its way through. But one of the things that it never did is all the crazy things that kind of happened in the Silver Age. They kept that going, and they didn't. So it was basically what would happen if the Silver Age, not the Golden Age, like because we know like with how the Golden Age Batman actually does die. He was married to Catwoman. Their daughter was Huntress. This is kind of what if the Silver Age kept going, and I mean, so it becomes its own thing. But one thing that they did. In that is they had a version. So this version forced Batman to aid him in an experiment that would allow a person to gain apparently permanent immortality from the Lazarus pit. The two enter at the same time at the pit, but one would perish and the other would become an immortal with no way to know which would survive. Bruce now in his late 70s, and he's also using kind of like a proto Batman Beyond suit that's aiding him in fighting crime or anything. He still does it, but mostly it's Dick Grayson, and then actually I think Dick Grayson dies in this, and then Bruce Wayne Jr. takes up the mantle, who's I think, if I'm not mistaken, the sun. It gets weird, but it's cool either way. So they go down in the pit. They both have their swords, and then all of a sudden, like Bruce Wayne looks young again, and then just like Ray, she had like a couple like white streaks in his hair, and like it's dope. Anybody, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure I got the entire omnibus of this for like $30, $40. It's definitely worth the read, and it's John Byrne doing all the art. So it's phenomenal.
If that's the one, like when you guys have heard me talk a million times, if DC wanted to do something different to kind of break the mold of the superhero movies, going back to period pieces and doing it by each movie, like each phase by period, this was kind of the inspiration to that. So I agree.
Yeah, it's great. What he does with the characters is interesting, and you're not like, oh, this breaks this, and the reason it doesn't break anything is because it's a continuity with onto itself. It's an Elseworlds. So there's Ra's Apocalypse, which actually is pretty sweet.
Amaglam.
Yep. Rash Alpaca, who I'm sure is Captain Carrot, an alternate universe variant of Ra's al Ghul, appears in Kingdom Come. This version was killed under unspecific circumstances, leading to his grandson Ibn El-Aksef, which I guess they're saying is this version of Damian Wayne, to revive him and help fight Gog, which Gog is cool. However, Lex Luthor and Brainiac attempt to betray Ibn, leading him to kill Ra's again. The Doom that came to Gotham is extremely weird. This version is a member of a cult that worships the demon Log Satha, which
it's like very much almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of a lot of Lovecraftian overtones. So Log Satha is right on point there. He appears in Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's one of my favorite crossovers of all time.
Yep.
All right, so television. Yes, he's in
my series was great. That's enough said.
Yeah, voiced by David Warner. The version has a son named Arcady Duvall. So that's where Arcady Duvall comes. But voiced by Malcolm McDowell, who met
that episode. And Batman's not even in it, and it is like, but for like the beginning and the end.
Yeah, it's good. Super cool.
So fucking good.
He appears in Superman the Animated Series. I assume he was just voiced by David Warner. And then he appears in Batman Beyond: Out of the Past. Sometime prior to the series, he participated in the Near Apocalypse of 2009 before he was defeated by Batman and Talia, who suffered irreparable injuries, leading him to transfer his mind into Talia's body. In 2039, he manipulates Bruce Wayne into using the Lazarus Pit to restore his
manipulates.
Yep. It's before attempting to take over his body and control Wayne Enterprises. However, he's thwarted by Batman 2 and killed when the Lazarus Pit explodes. He's appears in Brave and the Bold. He's voiced by Peter Woodward. Young Justice. And he does a great job.
He's good.
It's a great depiction.
Both him and David Warner would have done
Bradley Baker
live action.
I mean, even David Warner, if you knew how he looked at the time, he kind of would have looked like Ra's al Ghul in the series, like he
would have been right. Oh yeah, they totally, that was intentional. They totally designed the character to resemble him.
Ooh, I do not
just
hate
enough.
this either, and I am not a big fan of Beware the Batman, but Lance Reddick has
Another
a
good one.
wonderful voice.
And
Choice.
and the same thing he could have played, because Dennis
Yeah.
O'Neil even said Ra's al Ghul was intended to be racially ambiguous. So that is a character you do have complete
Some
freedom.
leeway. Some
Yeah.
leeway to
Literal,
play with.
just about any opposing masculine, male character with the right voice. The voice is extremely important,
Mhm.
and the right
Yeah.
physique to a point.
That's
could play the
another
character.
thing I hate too. Live action is one thing, but like in animation, I don't give a shit what color
No.
any
No.
of the actors
It
are,
shouldn't
as
matter.
long as the voice is correct. Like
Right.
it-
That's all that matters.
it is that was the big point. I don't know what Bat Fam is.
Never heard of it.
Never.
Okay, now we're getting into live action.
Yeah, live action. I don't get this misdirect with my father calling me during my fucking show the last like 3 weeks.
Hey, you on a show?
Yeah,
You doing the
dude, so we were just about to start the show. He's like, "Aren't you usually doing a show right now?
Hey, you busy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't you have a show?
What you doing?
Why aren't you doing your show? It's because you're fucking calling me. What is going on?"
Can you talk? No.
Okay. Multiple incarnations of Ra's al Ghul appears in TV is set in the Arrowverse.
Mhm.
He appears in the third season of Arrow.
Very
By
good casting.
Yep. A younger version appears in Legends of Tomorrow. The second incarnation is
Malcolm Merlin, right?
Malcolm Merlin. And I met wow, that's a shirt.
Well,
You know,
Johnny.
if
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
on point.
Very
No,
happy.
I got it, but still,
It is
still a
shiny.
choice.
He's
Still
a fun
choice.
guy. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a song and dance man.
Fun.
Let's see.
This,
Yeah, near Nissa, but he appears in Gotham, portrayed, which I did not hate this at all.
No.
I don't hate it. Don't hate it.
But
Like the casting in Gotham for the most part wasn't the problem. It was the
writing.
timeline. It made no
Yeah.
sense. The writing, the timeline, like, oh, we're just gonna get all of the Batman stories pushed in when he's not even fucking Batman yet and still a child. Okay.
I actually did initially love the misdirect of Liam Neeson playing Henry Ducard, because that's also a character that Batman had trained with, and it would actually kind of make sense that Ra's would kind of want to have a hand in the training of Bruce Wayne. And I thought that was brilliant. Go ahead.
Boy, Sammy, you are really having some issues audio. No, my issue with the Dark Knight in the Batman Begins is the fact that they did not call him League of Assassins. They called him League of Shadows.
League of Shadows.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I liked it. It made more sense because they weren't a league
operate
that
in
was
the shadows.
assassinating people. They had a different goal. They adapted what it was, and for that world that they built, it made sense. I love the Henry Ducard. I don't think they did any misstep, and as much as I dislike Dark Knight Rises for a lot of reasons, I think even the backstory showing him as military mercenary and everything that happened, he is a man that had finally a man at war that finally found peace, and they robbed that from him.
Yeah,
And that's what led to that. And using the misdirect and everything to create, a bullshit legend of Ra's al Ghul that wasn't even a thing, just to fuck with people. It all fucking worked. if you're going to
No,
remove
Batman Begins
any
is great.
fantastical element from the Batman mythos and completely ground it, I think Nolan nailed it, and I love this version of the character.
This is definitely an aspect of that trilogy that was nailed for sure.
Jason
One
Isaacs.
that I didn't know here,
Good one.
yeah, Jason Isaacs, great casting.
Again, could fucking do it in real life, no problem.
Another one could do it again, real life. Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh yeah,
same thing.
He has been pretty blessed in the casting here.
I know, right?
I'm not too familiar with him. Well, he was the original voice of Kratos in the God of War games. Fine,
Yeah, he's a great voice actor.
Yes. Kaskavar. I mean, I have this movie. He's fine. He's great. Injustice. Fine. Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it.
Batman versus Ninja Yakuza.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
This
was
great.
great. People get down on it. Let's see, Don Leslie. I don't know Don Leslie, but these are video games.
Fred Tessitore. I know who that is.
He's voiced by
Bradley Baker.
Yep.
Great actor. Great voice actor. Phenomenal.
Wait, hold on. Let me see something. I thought that wasn't the only time he voiced him. Oh, I guess on the Robot Chicken specials. Okay. Miscellaneous. Young Gus Italian comic. Ra's al Ghul appears in Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77. So that's obviously a crossover comic book, which I'm gonna have to check out. Because
honestly, those are great. I love the Batman 66. I like the Wonder Woman all right, and the Supermans were pretty good, and they do a lot of good crossovers. 89 started out great, and then kind of started shitting the bed a little bit, but
yeah,
still all right.
I haven't read past the first trade, and then I know the other one actually it drops soon, but as soon as I saw like all the neon lights and stuff on it, I was like, oh no, that looks like it's going dangerously into Schumacher territory. Yeah. So yeah, collected editions, anything like that. If you have to read anything, yes, read Tower of Babel, read Tales of the Demon, read Birth of the Demon. Honestly, the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul is it's crazy, but it's fun. This is a character that I think for a long time has been like well respected and really hasn't been abused too much.
Right.
It's
overexposed,
been casted well. In most iterations, you're not really gonna go wrong. And I mean, honestly, we always go back to this. If you want to learn anything, or if you just want to see what the character is kind of like, and you only got a little bit of time, just watch the episodes that he's in the animated series. You'll get a very 100%. Great idea who the character is. And honestly, that will probably give you enough where you'll appreciate the character enough where you want to look into him further, because he's cool, he's mysterious, and he's hard to screw up. I mean, well, he'd be very easy to screw up if the writing's bad, but it was like if you write him well, as long as you understand the character, he is kind of hard to screw up. He operates in the shadows. He is like an enormous League of Assassins, criminal underbelly at his disposal. His longevity is nearly unparalleled, unless by like very few characters in the DC universe. And because of that, he's been able to accrue many different talents and wealth. So he is the embodiment of like this globalist like evil, and he's glad he's around. He's a good ass villain.
And one of the part of the motivation to creating him was it took Batman out of that street level, just Gotham element and turned him into like almost international man of mystery.
Yes.
Globe-trotting Indiana Jones, James Bond type. And that was really fucking a breath of fresh air when they were getting kind of stale with what they were doing at the time. So this is like on my top 3 Batman villains. He's actually tied for number 1 with the other being the obvious choice.
Let's see. Yeah, so IGN's top 100 top comic book villains. He's ranked as number 7, and I
think out of all of them.
Yes, I'm saying out of 100 different I mean he's a quintessential comic book villain. All right, guys, I think we nailed it. Let's just go right down the pike here and
real quick, something fun we could do just super fast. If you were going to cast this character live action right now, dream casting with an actor, who would you pick? Has to be alive though.
Yeah, that's
Sean Connery would have been a great.
Sean Connery would have been awesome.
I would have gone with Odin. It's fair.
Timothy Dalton.
Oh, good one. Good one.
They have to be alive, right?
Yeah.
Well, clearly.
Russell Crowe.
Clearly share my screen here. I mean, because we know modern Hollywood, right?
Oh, God.
So that said,
God.
You know what's sad? If all
good.
the other bullshit hadn't happened and we weren't sick of him, it would have been terrible.
It'd be a bad one. I know. As much as I fucking hate this actor, I actually think he could do.
No, he has the gravitas to do it. It's just like it is like he has become like this lowest common denominator.
As long as he played it, as long as he played it like Prince of Oberyn in Game of Thrones.
Yes. That's why I'm kind of going to from that aspect of the characters, looking at him from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
All right. Did anyone?
And I hate that I have to go that direction because of all of what's gone on with Pedro Pascal.
Right.
But
Dempsey, you be quiet. Dempsey, don't. No.
He's actually you've got a lot of choices with the character. You could go with Pedro, you could go with Idris Elba, Jason Isaacs.
Yep.
Matt Damon.
Well, that's another thing too, is because of his age, you can have him be
at any age
adaptation. Or you could have him be a rejuvenated adaptation, or was like you have a younger guy, all he needs is like a gray or white streak going through his hair. So it really is limitless. Well, see, he's got to be able to fight, but that's not necessarily true either. He's got to be able to fence. Or you could have 2 actors play him, where you have an older iteration and then you have the younger, more formidable iteration. It was like there's so much you can do with this character, and I do love that his background is mostly grounded in mysticism, because you don't have to over explain it. You don't have to be like, well, it's when the sun is in the right place and the amount of protons that he actually gets from white light. It was like, no, there's just like this pit in the ground, and he goes in it and he comes out and he's fucking younger.
If he was still alive, Raul Julia.
Oh fucking A. Okay, Joker won.
Yeah.
that would have been stupendous.
Yeah, that's like top tier, like dream casting, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go down the pike. Joker, where are you going to be for the rest of the week? Or coming up?
I do have a little channel of my own. Rick has dropped the link in there in the chat there. I do talk about professional wrestling. I was supposed to drop a video on Friday. If you know how my life's been the last couple of weeks, you know why that didn't happen. But WWE is doing a live event later on today. I will probably go on about a half hour after that ends, give a live recap, and just go over the show, the matches, and the whatnot. You can also definitely catch me. Wednesday night is overbooked with myself, a friend of the channels, friends of the chat channel, Matt the Unbearable 773, Left Eye Ego, and Duke Devil 95. We talk about the ins and outs and little things about pro wrestling. We have a staple of our show is our top five. This week's top five TV or movies that feature professional wrestling. So that's something to look forward to. On Thursday, you can also catch myself and Sammy over with Roman of the Empire, making his head explode on a weekly basis. It's always a lot of fun. But yeah, that's where you can catch me. And of course, I'll be at Arkham later tonight for taco night because they serve tacos at Saturday night. Why is that, Sammy?
Fucking insane asylum.
That's right. Yeah.
Why would you ever serve tacos on a day that doesn't begin with T?
Because it's taco. And we listen to Seal during taco night.
On repeat.
On repeat, yes.
Drunken Emerald Arrow.
Yeah. So we got coming up this afternoon is a special episode of Weekly Rogues Gallery over on Iron's channel due to power outage. So it'll be today. And then later tonight at 7 p.m. PST over on my channel is insert title here, where we have a special guest of Duke Devil 95 joining us. And we are going to be ranking the 5 original Star Trek cast members and actually in their roles. And then on Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST on my channel is Nerds Covering the News. And Wednesday over on Double Made Me Do It's channel is Make Me a Sandwich. And then that's what I got going on.
Sounds good. Iron.
Hello. All right. Like Emerald said, last night we had some technical difficulties due to a storm. But we were able to pull it out of our ass and get a Saturday show going for the Weekly Rogues Gallery. It'll be at 3:30 p.m. PST. Everybody here is welcome to join. We're going to be bringing back, finally getting MMA Crease, the hardest person to book ever, because we've been trying this for months and we keep running into roadblocks. So hopefully we can get that off the ground. Got to be a pretty short show. We're going to keep it to a solid, a tight 2 hours and go over some of the stuff that happened this week. And then going into next week, going to try and get Ironcast back up off the ground. Took a little bit of a break due to just life. And let's see, I'm going to hopefully be able to join the Star Trek discussion tonight. If not, I'll be in and out of the chat and over here. Then whenever Touch Grass comes back, I'll be on that and everything else in between. So that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, as for me, yes, if I can make it on Drunken Emerald's show tonight, I definitely will. I do have a family party in about an hour, so I have to go see when that's gonna be. But it is also for I don't know how long it's gonna be. Especially my parents at their age. They're like, dinner's at 3, and you're like, dinner's at 3. Okay, cool.
It's more like 5.
Yeah. But hopefully I'll be along for that tonight. If not, you will definitely see me in other news. And yeah, that'll be the end of my week. Otherwise, my schedule, it all starts over again. And it's all on Twitter. So, guys, yeah, this is an excellent character. I thought we had an excellent conversation about him, and we learned a couple things that I didn't particularly know, and we hashed out a couple of things that I always wondered about. And like I said, out of all Batman's villains, this one really hasn't been done dirty just yet. So let's hopefully we keep the trend going, and let's call it an evening, and see y'all next week.
Come on. Yes, Batman, clad in the somber costume which has struck terror to the heart of many a swaggering denizen of the underworld. Bob? Done.
Holy CinemaScope! Holy miscast Batman! Holy movie mogul! Holy cliffhangers Batman! Holy suborbit Batman! It's raining down there! Big history! Holy catastrophes Batman! Holy bullseye Batman! Holy stereo! Listen to this! Holy armadillos! Holy Krypton! Holy trampoline! Holy fork in the road! Holy Titanic Batman! Holy Houdini! Holy funny bone the Joker! Holy chutzpah! Holy precision! Come on,
Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel.
The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.